Yes, sir. Let's do it. 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 You already know what it is. You got Professor Pippin back in this bitch on our trader agent, trying to get active, trying to get live. We back in for another week in the building. We ready to get to it. Market is already opening, booming, and buzzing. We kind of late today. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there listening, all the fathers in the back, all the fathers in the front, all the fathers that's on the keyboard trading this week. I hope you get active. I hope your positions play out well, and I hope you have a great week. But enough of all that mushy shit. We getting straight to the chart, straight to the charts. Coming in first on AU as always. Yeah, price action, big bullish, big bullish. And for the most part, what I'm looking for is some retracement action. If I don't get no retracement action, then I'm probably gonna keep watching. But overall, we're stuck within this little whatever type of price action you want to call this shit until we broke to the downside and then we started going back bullish. Mm, Probably for like the last 3 or 4 weeks now. That's what it looked like the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've been just straight big bullish. So going into last week, I had some trading on Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday I got missed, and then the rest of the week I just let the thing slide. But this week we're looking to come out shooting, come out busting. We're looking to see if we can get some retracement action. But I think the only way for me to really come out into the market and just really be shooting like that, like you know what I'm saying, like Jordan in the finals, 95, 96, or was it 96, 97, one of them two. But the only way I'm looking to come out busting like that is if I get some retracement action first. The first area I'm looking for price action to react from when it starts to retrace is this kind of little area right up in her. Structure most recently broken as we look at price action on a 4 hour time frame. These aren't swing levels, so mostly I'll be looking at this as for the most part 1 hour structure. These higher highs and higher lows right up in her. We got the last higher low or higher high, higher low down here, then pushed and created that new higher high. So this will be my 1 hour range for the start of the week from the low to the high. And what I'm looking for is a retracement. If we start to act up into this area where price broke out last, then potentially could be looking for buyers from there. Come on, man. You know what you do. So this is on a 4 hour time frame too, but uh we can do it from here. 4 hour time frame, we come down and start acting up in this level right here, start to roll over, start shuffling, fumbling with them keys, and want to get back up out of there, I will take buys back into an area I kind of got identified from the daily, from the weekly time frame as weekly supply zone. And mostly I'm looking at that level only to see the reaction once price action gets up into that area. So currently sitting right here on the lower time frames, and I kind of got this area right up here identified as supply because once price action was up in here, it caused a break of structure for the most part looking left. Now, overall, when I say price break of structure, it depends on it depends on the time frame. It depends on what price action is as far as which structure is being broken. This right here will be internal lower time frame structure that's being broken. So I'm saying break of structure as far as this little bullish push here would now be over for me, and potentially could be looking for the best shortened scenario after price action breaks these lows right over here, which you kind of got to play out in which price action did kind of play out and did give some shorts about 2 weeks ago, pushing back into look like a demand area or imbalance area looking left. Um, second. But like I was saying, as we saw price action react from either demand that it tapped into or just feeling this little imbalance area that was right here, and then we started scooting back bullish. So now for the most part, we kind of on the lower time frames, breaking structure again. Um, high, low, somewhat lower high, lower low, breaking this lower high structure here back to the upside. So bring the analysis back, or if you even bump down to the lower time frames, you can kind of see, price action shooting out bearish, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. And now we've closed above that previous lower high from the higher time frames, weekly time frame, daily time frame. So as we are starting to, as we are imposing, expanding back into the highs, looking to see if we can get a slight retracement before taking big buys again. So when you bring the analysis back on the daily time frame, we got the swing low identified. I haven't really created that swing high just yet. Move some of this three out the way. You can kind of see blanket. We haven't really created that swing high just yet in my eyes for the most part, because it just could be another, slow down candle like we got right here, a little pause in the market, and then price action could keep going bullish before giving you that major retracement. But yeah, so right now, no daily resistance identified. Do have that daily support swing low area identified. And then As we bump down to that 4 hour, we got that 4 hour support identified that has pushed up and hasn't really created that 4 hour resistance just yet. So the daily and that 4 hour resistance has not showed up just yet. So we want to see price action pull back down. So I want to see it start to break structure looking left, coming back to the downside before we try to identify and say, okay, now we have a complete range from the low to the high, from the low to the high. And now we can start to try to formulate to see how far price action really wants to retrace before resuming back bullish. But based off the way I trade, based off these scalping psychologies, we looking for the short term, intermediate, right now positions. Damn all that long term. Yeah, waiting all week for one trade. I can't do all that. It's probably best to do that, but you potentially miss all the potential setups in between there. Where you potentially could have got active and been done within the market. So, um, looking at it from the 1 hour, oh, we got identified. Go back to the 4 hour one real quick. We have this area here identified as 4 hour support. We got bearish trend here. Last lower high that gives you lower low, shift of structure, break of structure right over here. So then we got the high to the low, new higher high right over here, breaking above this high, higher low, coming back, retest low area right over here. And from that point, we just still pushing simply because in my eyes, I haven't seen any structural breaks back to the downside, identifying that price action has formed that higher time frame, that greater resistance that caused the market to shoot back down. So still for the most part an expansion phase in my eyes on a 4 hour time frame as price action is just pushing and continue to push into the highs. On a 1 hour time frame, still same psychology as far as identifying highs and lows. Previous low on a 1 hour time frame here, new high here. Structure most recently broken. So we're looking to see if we can get that retracement type action from where price action currently is to either come into the structure most recently broken first, then roll over, get down here, start to fumbling with them keys, and then get back up to the top side, or could be looking for it to come back a little bit deeper, feel some imbalance areas right up in here. Get down there, get the fumbling with them keys, and push back to the top side. Now, with that being said, should be looking and waiting for the best bullish scenario setup based off of previous price action, previous structure, current price action. But if price action look like they want to short off into one of these levels, I wouldn't mind taking some pip and dip type action. On AU tonight, structure most recently broken, that's 36 pips, and then all the way back down to the area we kind of identified as imbalance at 60 pips. So I mean, that's what I mean when I was saying a minute ago about waiting for this setup to come in. You could potentially scout these shorts back into that level, and you could catch that 60 pip profit. From that point, you could be done for the week. I mean, right, lot size, you ain't got to get back in. But if you choose to do so, then it's there for you. But ultimately looking for some retracement action. Now, if we come out and go big bullish, we got the buy side also identified as where we want to try and get in for some buys. At this point, once price action comes and gets this high within the market, we'll be looking for only breakout trades only. You'd be getting involved in risky business at that point. But breakout buys potentially back into this sort of higher time frame supply area right up here that we got identified. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but right in over here where price action was trying to give you a little bullish higher low, pushed up and just kind of broke through that previous demand looking left. You got it identified correctly? I think so. Yeah. Hard. Look on that one. See, low, high. Break, pushback. Yeah, so even this looks a little funky back over there, but this is identified from the weekly and daily time frame. This supply area here in the purple, so we're gonna leave it like that. But yeah, we're looking to see if price action pushes into the supply area and and kind of start that retracement phase that we want to see on a higher time frame before taking those confident buys, those kind of swing trade setups. Pretty much 20 pips from the break of that possible buy above area, which is 68,995, little breakout scalp. You can have 20 pip scalp to the top side if it works out, if it sets up. We will basically have to determine that once price action gets to that area. But currently, we're gonna focus our eyes in to see if we get any retracements, and if not, if it just come open and scoot to the top side, then we got both sides lined out. So pretty much bullish on AU, daily bullish, 4 hour bullish, 1 hour bullish, 15 minute is bearish. Currently making lower lows and lower highs right here on the 15 minute. I had another something else. written on here somewhere. Oh yeah, right up here. Okay, there we go. Reset this. Way over there. Let's see. Waiting to see how far price action retraces to potentially take buys back into daily supply. If we hop in on Sunday, all pip and dip type action. So if we take any trades tonight, all pip and dip. We're not allowing price action to retrace. If we get 5 pips, if we get 2 pips, if we get 14 pips, if we get them whole 20 pips, then we want to be out of the market. Pip and dip shorts to the downside, potentially back into the structure most recently broken right over here. I think we said that was 30 pips, and then back into the imbalance was 60 pips. And then if we go to the top side, we're looking at 20 pips. So pipping and dipping, trailing stops immediately, especially if price action hit 10 pips, I'm trailing stops to break even. Not looking to take any losses, just trying to see if we can catch some scalps in either direction. And then, yeah, get up out of that thing. Sit back and wait for the rest of the week. Clicking over to GJ. GJ, I do not like GJ structure based off the way that I identify structure. Just because when you zoom out to the higher time frames and you try to go to the daily. When you zoom out and try to identify this on a higher time frame, there's just a lot of freaking chop back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That really is not a whole. It's not as clear as when I look at some of these other charts as far as which structure I identify. I am able to identify structure just looking at swing levels, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Has not started that retracement phase that broke any structure looking left to kind of clearly identify that daily ultimate resistance that caused that shift break of structure into the market to start that bearish trend. But so far we just impulsing into the highs. So we got that daily low kind of right down here, that swing level low, that daily support area that pushed and gave us the gas to get into these highs. As we bump down on buddy to that 4-hour time frame. Man's over here. All right, so we got that 4-hour support identified right over here. As price action continue to make those higher highs and higher lows, swing level higher highs and higher lows. And yet again, as you come to this 1 hour or 4-hour time frame, you don't see any price action pulling back, breaking any of these structures for the most part as price action continue to make higher highs. So that is why we have this area here identified as a 4-hour support, pushed and created that high. Don't necessarily have that ultimate 4-hour resistance yet that caused any breaks of structure back to the downside. So we still kind of expanding to the top side. Not liking the structure at all for the way I identify structure. Several zones. Not sure which will be the most important until price action retraces. Should be looking for the best bullish scenario simply because the daily is bullish, the 4 hours bullish, the 1 hour is bullish, and the 15 minutes bullish. So if you potentially want to get active on GJ, set up potentially the best buying scenario, and then you potentially have a high probability of that trade playing out for you. We just making higher highs and higher lows on all freaking time frames. Um, what we can see here is from last week's weekly open, we just expanded to the top side. So this week could be a retracing week, coming back into potentially previous 1 hour demand to get back active to the top side, or even as far as all the way back down to 4 hour demand right down in here. Um, yeah, I don't necessarily want to identify demand right down in here because price action way up here. I need to focus for this week right in up in here. Then once we see price action start to make its move, start to break through all these structures and get below this 1 hour support, then and only then would I come down here and try to identify demand and try to say, okay, well, we have created that 4 hour support, that swing level, pushed up, gave all this price action here. We created that 4 hour resistance. Now we're starting to retrace a good bit. Where can potentially price action react from down here as far as demand? Could potentially come down to see if price action get the fumbling with them keys and give us a setup to take it back into the high. So ultimately, should be looking for the best bullish scenario on GJ. Don't necessarily have any areas right now that I want to identify to say, okay, I'm looking for this level exactly to hit, and then I'm going to take a trade from there. We got this little 15-minute support kind of identified here as we bump down to the 15-minute time frames. What we do is just identify higher highs and higher lows, the most previous, the most recent, the most I guess effective higher low on the 15-minute time frames right down here in the red. So first thing we'll be looking to see, does price action come back to retest this area? Or does it open up and just keep going bullish? Right now, we don't know. Right now is a waiting game. And right now it's best to just have your levels identified of where you want to see price action react from and then get busy that way. Clicking over to GU got up out of that thing and kept going to the top side. Ultimately, we big bullish on the daily. daily support, daily supply right down, or demand right down in here, breaking structure looking left. As price action coming back down from swing standpoint, we could react off of this structure most recently broken here, or we could travel back deeper within this 4 hour range. The top side hasn't been created just yet, so it's kind of hard to identify it as a range, but we could come back into this 4 hour level here, or even come deeper back into the daily range and tap into a demand area from the downside. Why do we have this area here identified as 4 hour supply? Well, as you track higher highs and higher lows, for all the people in the back, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. As you start to look at these structures here, we don't have really any breaks of structures right here. So just all one expansionary move for me until we get that structure shift on that hourly for the most part to identify that 4 hour range from the low to the high. So ultimately still expanding on GU on the 4 hour time frame. As we bump down to the 1 hour time frame, we kind of see we have created somewhat of a little support here where price action was making higher highs and higher lows, come above, came down, respected this area for whatever reason, and then got back active to the top side. Now, a lot of people won't look at price action this way, but I do. And it has been what has helped me or been able to um, allow me to become profitable within the market. As we look at, I got updated from GU last week. No, I don't. Only got that last where we were trying to get in from. But as we look at this price action here, now price is way up here. Based off of the way we had price action identified, we had that bullish continuations on that 126,800. So pretty much based off of last week's chart market, we should have been looking for a break and a retest of that 126,800. We come back to the charts. We're gonna drop the line 126,800. So right now we kind of broke above based off of the bullish continuation zone from price action looking left. We got above it. We have broken above and stayed above it. So potentially we could be waiting for price action to come back down into that structure most recently broken. What that would do at that time is give us our 4 hour resistance that caused price action to come down and start breaking structure right over in here. Break that 1 hour supply. So we look for a deeper retracement back into that 4 hour range, and then see if price action want to get the fumble with them keys right up in here, and then potentially get up to the top side. If this level doesn't potentially hold up here, then we could be looking for price action to come all the way deep back down into here within that 4 hourly range, because at that point, then this would be that new 4 hour resistance, and your range will be from the low to the high. But that's a good bit of ways, could be a good bit of ways away, simply because price action hasn't showed us any of that. It's just kind of how you necessarily want to come to the chart and try to kind of formulate ideas as far as what you think price action is going to do. And then, and only then, if price action plays out to what you thought it was going to do, hop in the markets. But kind of like right over here, we came down, broke that 1 hour structure, same thing, same deal right over here. Price action making them higher highs and higher lows. We got that structure break. So now we got the low to the high, price action retraces and then get back up out of there. So right now we could be looking for that same setup, pull back into that structure most recently broken, and then get up out of there to the top side. So that's GU. Currently price action is big bullish. FOREX still in an expansion phase. Should be looking for the best bullish scenario, my friends. Clicking on the UJ. UJ, I missed out on some important details and factors on UJ last week. Yeah, I just wasn't interested in it. Potentially because we were consolidating right up at her. But just looking at this price action here, I'm gonna go back to the chart markets that we had from last week, and we didn't do an updated one. But what we had was this little, we identified our price action was trading within the channel. We manipulated to the downside, and then from there, we started creating higher highs and higher lows. We had that continuation above continuation buys above 149.30. We're gonna drop a line for 149.30. Where we at? Right up on her. Come on. So continuation buys above there. Damn, I wanted to point something else out. I thought I dropped updated chart UG. These are all this week, so no, I didn't. All right, but continuation buys based off of that old chart. Let's go back and see how it was. Then we can. All right, so we had continuation buys above 149.30. It would have been a break of structure looking left. As price action continued to make higher highs and higher lows. Well, I had another picture of this. Oh, I talked about it in the previous video. That's what it was. It wasn't a picture. It was a we talked about how we identified this as our new 4-hour structure because by the time we came to the charts, price action had already broke above here. So on that weekly recap, if you go back to the video that we dropped on last Thursday, I want to say last Thursday or Friday, we talked about how we identified this new level. Price action was coming back. No, that might have been GU. Never mind. But either way, breaker structure right over here, 149.30. We're looking for that break and retest position. Price action closed above, came back within the range, found resistance or support. How does that say resistance? 4 hour support, and then got back to the top side. So should we still be looking for a retest of 149.30? I don't know. Potentially, we could. We got that 1 hour support. Delete 1 hour support. We haven't really formulated that 1 hour resistance just yet. So it's gonna be kind of hard to tell until we get some more price action. But as of right now, GJ has started to make higher highs and higher lows. So we should be looking for the best bullish scenario. Currently, the daily is bullish, the 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, and the 15 minutes is somewhat consolidating. Yeah, for the most part. Um, price action finally broke out of price action finally broke completely out from last week's range. We'll be looking to see if price action offers a retracement to start the week off, coming back into that 4 hour support, and then see if we can go back bullish from there. But ultimately, should be looking for the best bullish scenario on UJ, something like that. Pushing over to UCAD. UCAD, I didn't have a clue of what really was going on over here on UCAD last week, so I kind of completely skipped it. We're gonna highlight UJ. I might be able to get active on UJ this week, but ultimately, higher time frames on down. We are big bearish, big bearish on the UCAD. What we're seeing is price action from the swing high all the way down. We haven't created that swing low just yet, but we are pushing into an area that I kind of identified and said this is an area of interest right over here on the left. So you best to be careful. If this price action come down, start to act funny on you, and then be like, hold up, we was big bears. Why the hell we rolling over bullish? Is because of this potential area right over here looking left. As we go back to the 4 hour time frame, we got that daily swing high area all the way down to the last lower high that's creating that new lower low. We do have that 1 hour resistance already formed. You know how we get down over here at the University of Pippins on I Trade the Asian. If we see price action close above this 1 hour resistance, we definitely will be looking for price action to retrace deep and then potentially take buys all the way back into 4 hour supply. That can be one potential setup slash psychology for the start of the week, but we can't make those calls until price action actually gets there. That's what keeps you from getting chopped up and ate up within these markets. But ultimately, still big bearish. Where's my shit at, man? Way over here. What you doing way over there, bro? Get over here. No, I thought it was another one. I guess I didn't. All right. But ultimately daily bearish, 4H bearish, 1H bearish, and the 15 is currently bearish. So we waiting to see, does price action start to break lows first to continue to go bearish, or do we come back up, try to get above this 1 hour resistance and potentially come back and feel some of this imbalance right over here, tapping back into 4 hour supply, then potentially roll back over to the downside. And then last but not least, Mr. Gold. Gold. I was freaking out last week because I had a sniper from down here that did not get activated, pushed up, gave me plenty of pippage. Did not come back into while I was looking for ultimate targets, but from what an entry was, which is exactly right down here, back up into where it pushed to. I mean, I ain't the greediest man in the world. You already know that. So just because price action didn't go all the way back up into where I thought it was gonna go, then I definitely could have had I got entered right over here. Got up out of the trade at that point, or at the least trail the stops to where as price action continue to make these higher highs and higher lows back into what we want to see price action retest to, just trail the stops right up under there, 15-minute on the hourly. Had I got in from down here, trailing stops could have been underneath there. And then, yeah, our highs, higher lows. You get this funky news price action right here would have been trailed out, but still would have had potentially 123 of them things, right lot size, 120 of them, 123 of them things on gold. can take you where you're trying to go. But ultimately, right now, what we're looking at is, for me, price action on gold is currently consolidating slash bearish. Um, Right here, we have the daily swing low to the swing high. So support to resistance, to demand to supply. Can identify this supply because we got the breaker structure here, backing over here. So started to come back down. I'm looking at this as from my psychology as a retracement phase, not necessarily a trend reversal. Simply because you got the high to the low retracement, breaking structure looking left, then we got back up out of there to the top side. So pretty much follow that format from the low to the high retracement phase, and then potentially waiting for price action to roll over to get back up out of there to the top side. That's if gold wants to go bullish. We do and can continue to come all the way back down into higher time frame demand before going back bullish. Still be considered bullish on a higher time frame, but on the lower time frames, we currently kind of looking a little bearish. So we got a daily identified big bullish, 4 hours bearish because we were coming down, breaking structures looking left, and we were continuing to make high or lower lows and lower highs. The most recent, which would have been 1, 2 week, 3 weeks ago, um, there was a 4 hourly high created here, and we didn't break structure until last week, closing below the low, looking left. So 4 hourly high to the 4 hourly low. We have somewhat came up and closed above previous 1 hour resistance right here. So right now, price action is in a tricky spot. We closed above 1 hour resistance. We're in the middle of the range for the most part on the 4 hour or the 4 hour range, and we could definitely see a retracement come back down and fill some of this imbalance right down here before scooting back to the top side, or if there's enough whatever's orders, market executions, institutions in the market to push this price action higher coming from Sunday, Monday, it could continue to go bullish. So be careful with your pippage, be careful with your entries, be careful with your trade management because hopping in the middle of the range, especially on something as volatile as gold, can get your ass eat up. Look at this one candle right here. We talking about, let's see, from the low to the high, we talking about 200 of them things. If you went on the wrong side of that position, your account just got, you know what I'm saying? So definitely one of them weeks to kind of let price action open up a little bit for you, unless you got some inside scoopage on where price action is going. Yeah, let price action open up for you because if I see price action leak below this little 15-minute support here and start to get down here and fumble with them keys and give me another weak entry, I will be trying to get active right from this imbalance area right over here. Probably best to wait to see price action roll over before hopping in on any of these high lows right over here in the lower time frames can potentially get you back active to the top side. I would only be looking for this setup here because I consider the daily time frame bullish. So I would be looking for a bullish scenario here. But because of the 4 hour, it's still currently bearish until price action gets above this 1983 720 area. I still would be considering the 4 hourly bearish. So you could get smoked. Price action could come down and continue to flush through all of these levels because that 4 hour time frame still being bearish from the high to the low right over here. So definitely something to look into, look out for, and not for the most part give up any profits or any pippage back to the market. But yeah, I think that's probably all we're looking at for right now. Probably won't look to execute too much on gold unless price action comes down to that 1934 even level and start to fumble with them keys. You can. I'm playing the long game on that one. Definitely would be waiting to see if we close above this hourly resistance first, and then I'm gonna set up and post up in the yard in the bushes and wait on that ass to come back into that 4 hour supply. UJ, looking to see if I can get some retracement action. I need some retracement action on UJ. Otherwise, I'm not with it because UJ can keep UJ likes to find supports like this and then just continue. And you're like, bro, there was no retracement because I couldn't get in. You got to deal with that shit if you got in too early. So GU, yeah, GU ain't too pretty right now. I would like to see some retracement on GU as well for trying to take some continuation buys. GJ off in the weeds for me. Like I said, I don't like the structure how it's identified for me. So if it's not real clear, your boy will stay out. And then my baby mama AU, we definitely looking for retracements or pipping dipping this potential breakout buys we got up here at the top at 68,995. Outside of that, man, just kind of got back from vacation. Father's Day, birthday, all that stuff is now, kind of here and past. Got me a new mic got me some other stuff I need to put up on my setup that I got to get connected and get going for, so I can get faster on these computers. But yeah, a lot of things starting to shape and come to fruition for me. Yeah, it's coming. Y'all just keep watching. If you out there, I appreciate you tuning into the channel. Please hit that like button for the algorithm and all the other stuff so we can get this out to more people. If you don't want to hit that like button, either way, I'm getting paid. So it's up to you. I just would like to reach um a bigger audience. Yeah, and have more people involved and more people getting active, and more people having the opportunity to potentially see a different perspective from what is out there compared to everybody else. So I don't think there's too many people in the market right now that kind of trade the same exact way I trade. That's why I feel like I have that kind of advantage slash difference versus what everybody else is coming out and showing. So you know, I'm basically just trading purely off price action, purely off structure, and based off of my own concepts that I've learned over the last 3 to 4 years as far as being in this market. But outside of that, that's pretty much all I got for y'all last night. About to go ahead and try to get this new mic set up, go ahead and try to get this. I went and bought one of them external hard drives because of all these damn videos. It's really making my system slow down. So I gotta get one of them. I gotta get that hooked up. We got some new lighting, some new chairs. We got some new everything coming in because, like I said, we have started to become profitable. I didn't become profitable until fourth quarter last year. So first 3 years prior to that, break even or losses. But yeah, since last October, last September, whatever it was, that price action started looking good to me. We've been humping ever since then. But outside of that, man, you got any questions? Hit them. If you don't got any questions, uh, yeah, just hit that like button, subscribe for your bread. Outside of that, I think I'm getting ready to slide. Cool. Got to check out that news. Let me go back. Let me check out the news for y'all real quick. Got to check out that news because news potentially could show you what the market's getting ready to push to real quick. Like Sunday, pretty much a bunch of nothing. We got some orange folder AUD news on Monday. See, I like when all these yellow folders be on here because yellow folders, usually you can catch a better trending market during yellow folders and not all them crazy ass wicks and them big ass candles. So the holiday. Ain't no damn holiday tomorrow. I wonder what they calling this USD bank holiday tomorrow for. Yeah, I don't know. That must be some secret squirrel shit there. But on Wednesday we got CPI for the GBP. On Wednesday we got the Powell testifying again. On Thursday we got some CHF, some old GBP. So pretty much we potentially could come out this week trending, which would be really great because I am looking to increase. I won't increase lots again. Right now I'm probably gonna be where I'm at right now for probably about another. Well, it depends on how fast we grow the account, but we gonna increase as the account grows. But currently, right now, yeah, we're gonna stay where we at, and then we're gonna get active and get busy. But we will come out shooting though. Like I said, come out like shooting like Jordan 95, 96 finals. We want it. We looking forward, and it's our time to go get it. So, that's all I got for this one. Um, what happened to my Zoom? I appreciate y'all tuning in. I don't know if it even showed that last part of the screen. Hold on. Let me see. Let me go back for all the people in the back because I don't know if it showed that part with the news on it. Yellow folder news right up in here. Red folder news on Wednesday for GBP. Um, Powell's testifying on Wednesday as well. And he said we got USD bank holiday tomorrow. I don't know about that. I gotta look into that. GBP red folder news on Thursday, and then Friday Euro and USD got some red folder news. So hopefully we can get them trending markets. We can get them trending markets, and we can get active. But outside of that, I'm out to slide. I'm up out of that thing. Peace.